What's up, you guys? It's Hannah. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. I feel like it's been a really long time since I've said that intro. I've just kind of been starting vlogs, you know, just going for it. But hello, happy September, happy pre-fall. We touched on this in the last video, but the Burr months are my favorite months of the year. I love fall probably more than the next person, okay? It's my favorite season. I love the vibes, they're very cozy. I love all the pumpkin and, you know, the leaves and the cozy shows and everything, and the candles and you get it. However, and not to freak you guys out, okay, not to put this thought in your mind prematurely, but daylight savings time takes effect during the fall. While I love this season, I feel like I would be remiss if I did not just touch on the fact that the sun is gonna go down very early in a couple months. This is in November, so we have some time, but that's why I wanted to make this video now. I have a list. I made a list of some habits that I was thinking about that I wanted to implement in my life, some that I already do regularly that I want to continue doing regularly, some new ones, and I figured this would be a good thing to share with you guys in case you are on my same wavelength with this. These are things that when I do them, I feel good. I feel positive about life, and they kind of feel like little moments of light. I'm kind of doing a different format for this video. I don't know if I've done something like this before, which would be saying something considering this, I think November will be 8 years of me on YouTube. So I feel like I've done quite a lot, but I'm doing kind of a mix between a sit down video and a vlog. I wanted to sit down and talk through the list that I wrote, but also insert vlog clips from this week of me doing some of these things. I wanted to give you this information now, and I wanted to talk this through now before the sun is gonna set early, before it's about to get cold and dark, so that by the time that does hit, you're not overwhelmed with a bunch of new things that you want to do all at once. And I'm also not saying that you need to do these things every single day, because that just isn't realistic. Try to do them weekly or bi-weekly or monthly or whatever timeline works for you. Doing these things in my own life has really made a positive difference. I was in therapy last week. I need to shut up, okay? I need to like get into the video. I feel like I ramble, but also let me stop apologizing for stuff that I don't need to apologize for. This is my channel. I've always talked a lot. That's why I have a YouTube channel. Like, that's fully why I started this. If you want somebody that's just gonna get right to the point and make a 10-minute video, that's great, but that's not, you may not be in the right place. And that's okay. In therapy this week, I was kind of talking to my therapist about things that I've been doing more that have made me feel positive, and she said that she just can sense that I'm in a better headspace, or I was in a better headspace this week. I think that a lot of that has to do with me trying to make a conscious effort to do some of these things. So without further ado, let's get into it. I'm gonna insert vlog clips as I'm talking, or like I'll take a break. It depends on what it is. I don't really know how I'm gonna edit this yet. This part of me sitting down talking to you is like the string that's gonna kind of connect everything. Okay, habits I'm adopting before the sun sets at 4 p.m. Number 1, go outside and feel the sun. Or just go outside, leave your house. I struggle with this. I am a homebody, especially when it gets dark, or if it's not sunny out, or if it's cold, or you know what, it's hard to leave the house. Yeah, you can go like a day or so without leaving the house, but I will go a week without leaving the house. I self-isolate very easily. I fall into a routine of not leaving the house and just being comfortable in my comfort zone, and I feel like I need to physically pull myself out of that most days. But when I go out of the house, even if I'm not meeting a friend, even if I'm just going on a walk, even if I'm just driving to the grocery store or a coffee shop or something outside of the house, interacting with just one person, like the person behind the counter at the coffee shop, smiling at somebody in the grocery store, just it makes me feel more like a human being. I don't know if this sounds weird, but when I'm just spending time by myself in my abode, I can start to like almost disassociate from reality. I'm like, am I real? Is any of this real? I need to touch grass. This is a given for a lot of people, I fear. But not for me, which is why it's on this list, and it's the first thing. Even if it's not sunny out and you can't really feel the sun on your face, it's nice to breathe fresh air. It's so important. When I go outside and then I come back in, I just feel lighter. I feel like I have a better perspective even just spending 5 to 10 minutes outside of my own space. So this week, I met up with some friends and we went on a walk one morning.
Thank you.
We stopped and got a coffee first. I live in Charleston, so walking around downtown, there's so much to see. But we turned it into a whole morning. I got some quality time with my friends. I got to go to a coffee shop and try a new seasonal drink. We grabbed food, we walked. It was great. I felt great afterwards. I got outside, I moved my body, and I had some social time, which those last two things I just mentioned are also on this list. So you can definitely stack these things. Even just doing this alone, I do that all the time. Like spending quality time with yourself, maybe listening to an audiobook or music that you like, and just going to a place in your area maybe you haven't explored yet or that you have explored and you love. It's just important to get outside. The next thing is to plan your weekly dinners and romanticize cooking at home. I'm a big proponent of romanticizing your life. Romanticize everything. Who fucking cares? But for me specifically, planning out dinners for the week makes me feel like I have my shit together. I want to switch things up. Like I want to make sure that I'm getting nutritious dinners and things that I'm excited to eat. And also it's a good time to practice cooking. If you're somebody who's just trying to get into cooking, I've been trying to strengthen my cooking skills for the last 4 years, and I feel like I'm still a work in progress, but I've made so much progress. It's a great opportunity to try new recipes. Just knowing that one thing in your day is set aside and planned, whether it's going to be the night you're cooking or you have leftovers to eat, and just knowing you have that part figured out. I don't know why, but it just makes such a difference for me.
This installment of Home Cooking with Hannah is brought to you by Green Chef. Thank you so much to Green Chef for sponsoring this portion of today's video. For dinner tonight, I am choosing between a shrimp, a pork taco, and salmon. I had tacos for lunch, and it's a little bit later right now that I'm making dinner, so I want something super light. So I'm going with the lemon and garlic shrimp and creamy risotto. It sounds so good. Here's a little unbagging, if you will, of everything that came with my Green Chef kit. If you are not familiar with Green Chef, they are the #1 meal kit for clean eating. They make cooking and eating clean so much more approachable. It's something I've been trying to do, eating clean specifically, and I just feel like I don't know where to start a lot of the time. Green Chef really takes all the guesswork out of healthy meal planning because their kits include farmers market quality, organic produce, globally inspired flavors, and pre-prepped ingredients. It eliminates the stress of grocery shopping and meal planning. I love that all the ingredients are already pre-proportioned and ready to go, so there's no waste like there can be if you have to go to the grocery store and buy in bulk and you're only cooking for, say, one person like I am. As I've been saying, I think it's really important, at least for me, to have my meals planned for the week so that by the end of the day, when I'm tired and I don't want to make decisions anymore, I know exactly what I'm going to eat, whether it's leftovers from the night before, whether it's meal prep, or whether I'm making something new. I've made it a priority since I've moved and gotten a bigger kitchen to cook most of my meals at home, and I've stuck to that pretty well. I've been learning how to cook new dishes, learning new techniques, getting faster, getting better at multitasking with cooking. It feels good to learn new things and strengthen your skills and feel more confident doing something. In the fall and winter time, when we're spending a lot of time in our homes, is a great time to try and learn some new things, maybe get better at cooking, try your hand at baking, try different recipes. But it is nice to do something with your hands, get off your phone, do something for yourself that's taking care of yourself and the people you love. And all of those are positive things and bring joy, at least for me. So if you are interested in checking out Green Chef, you can head to greenchef.com or click the link below and use code 50HANNAH to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first Green Chef box plus 20% off for 2 months. That's code 50HANNAH at greenchef.com to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first Green Chef box plus 20% off for 2 months. Code 50HANNAH at greenchef.com. And here is my finished bowl. I always struggle with rice soaking up all of the water that it needs to. I don't know why that is, but here's current me with my thoughts.
I feel like I struggle with rice risotto and things like that, but I'm trying to learn. That's the whole point. And the flavor is good. Maybe it'll soak in a little bit more. My other serving that I can eat tomorrow, it has really good flavor. So I would consider this a success. I did my best. Next thing is to schedule things to look forward to. For the last few weeks, I have been joining a group of friends to watch The Summer I Turned Pretty every Wednesday. Next week is actually the finale, so we need to come up with something else to meet regularly for, because I'm telling you, these last few weeks, knowing that I have something to look forward to and getting to see friends and sit and watch a show has made my week so much happier. Making friends in your 20s is hard. Everybody's at a different place in their life. People are moving in different directions. Everyone just has their own thing going on. So it can be hard to catch people at the same time and like have things align. I've really struggled with this. I feel like I always just really wanted to be included, and then when I wasn't, it just made me feel like such shit. But I had a friend add me to a group chat of like where they talk about where they're gonna go watch The Summer I Turned Pretty the following week and then like discuss the episodes and everything. And because of that, I'm now getting to go to these every week. So I don't really know how to even give advice for this, because it's something I struggle with a lot, and I really struggle with feeling like I'm annoying to people, even though I don't think that's the case, but who knows? I'm just insecure about it, and I want connection with other people so badly, and it hasn't been smooth sailing. But I think you just need to keep trying and keep putting yourself out there if you are feeling similarly to how I'm describing, because eventually something is going to work out if you keep going and keep trying and keep putting yourself out there. I also have a trip home coming up because I'm going to be at my friend's wedding, so that's something that I'm looking forward to. You can even set a date to go hang out with yourself. You can make a reservation for one at a restaurant you've been wanting to try. Just having things in your calendar regularly that you're excited to go and do, very important. Coffee break. How cute is this cup? I got this on the aforementioned morning walk that I went on with my friends. We walked on King Street, which is like the main kind of shopping strip downtown Charleston. Popped in Anthropologie because I wanted to see if they had any cute fall stuff out, and they did. And I found this cup. It's so cute. And I love that it came with the lid and the straw. And I have other cups like this, so I feel like I could use this lid and straw with my other cups. But I like it because it has cats on it. It's just these little things. Like, I love getting a cute little cup like this. I feel like it just brightens my day, and it makes the coffee making process so much more fun. It's already my favorite thing to do every single day, so might as well just make it better, you know? As I said earlier, a lot of these things go together, so this next thing is kind of piggybacking off what I just said, but seeing people and just connecting with other people and having social time in general. Seeing people is so important. And I think for a while, I didn't fully grasp the importance of going out and being social and just being in the world with other people, because I do most things myself, and I think it is important to be able to spend time by yourself and be your own best friend and enjoy your own company and be able to genuinely have fun alone. But over the last year and a half, maybe, I have realized I think the meaning of life is connection. Connecting with other people, connecting with the earth, with your community, with whatever you want to connect with. There's so much, like, everything in life is available for you to connect with. And I think that the meaning of life and how to live a fulfilling life is connection, and connecting with other people is a huge part of that. I feel like it can feel more difficult for some people than others to connect with people. It's weird because I will get out into the world and I feel like I can have a conversation and find a common ground with a lot of different people, even if they're strangers, and I have like a 5-minute conversation with somebody in public and then I never see them again. I feel like I can communicate and connect with people easily, but then it's like, on the other hand, I struggle with that in my personal life. I don't know. It's weird. Like, there's both. My point is, it's important. So even if it's uncomfortable, or you have self-doubt, or you feel like you're not wanted, just keep trying. Just keep putting yourself out there, and the right people and the right things, you will attract them at the right time. The timing thing is difficult for me to wrap my head around, because it's like, well, if it's right, like, why isn't it happening right now? But sometimes things take time to unfold, and they happen when they're supposed to, like when everything aligns. And just because you think it's aligning right now doesn't mean it is, if that makes sense. All right, next, have/find/try 1 to 2 hobbies that you genuinely enjoy outside of your phone. Reading is my favorite hobby. It's what I look forward to doing every single day. I love getting to escape into a good book. Right now I'm reading Accomplice to the Villain, which is the 3rd book in the Assistant to the Villain series. The setting of it is giving very much storybook, and I don't know how else to describe it. But I love the characters, I love their personalities, and I love the fact that there's so much humor in this book. I think that's kind of the point. It's supposed to be like a lighthearted, funny fantasy. The main character, girl, Evie, is so funny, and I just love her outlook and just she's so witty, and her comedic timing's so good, and just like all of the characters, I just love them. Like, they make me smile. I feel like sometimes fantasy can be very intense, which I love as well. I'm looking at my Throne of Glass series up there right now, my favorite series of all time. But like, this has a plot, and it has things that they are going through and like figuring out and fighting through, but the characters are so funny. And it feels like more lighthearted, so I've just really been enjoying that. I also finally got a library card. I was on another walk with my friend this week, and we were about to pass the library, and she was like, the library's up here. We were talking about books. She's like, do you want to go in and get a library card? And I was like, you know what? Yeah. I've been meaning to do this for months. So we just went in and did it. It took like 5 minutes. I went home and I downloaded the Libby app, which everyone has been telling me to get, so that I could get ebooks from my library and download them on my Kindle. Right now, I am waiting for 5 books, maybe 6. So there's only so many licenses that the library system gets for each book. Here is what it looks like. Here are the books that I have on hold. And it's awesome because you get to read them for free. I have one that I'm reading right now that I got through the library. It is the Cinnamon Bun Bookstore, which is in the same world as the Pumpkin Spice Cafe. But I've really been enjoying the Cinnamon Bun Bookstore, and I love that I'm reading it for free through Libby, and it just downloaded right to my Kindle. But then another fun thing that we did this week that also goes with the having things on the schedule to look forward to, me and a few of the girls from the Summer I Turned Pretty watch group went to this wine and watercolor night at a local business in Charleston. It's like a cafe slash wine bar. They gave us the little papers and the paints and everything, and there was a woman who walked around and gave us pointers and different watercolor tips and kind of helped us with technique and everything. So if we had any questions on how to do something, we did a little like practice thing, and then I kind of just went off and did my own thing. I love doing DIY things and creative things. I've always been that way, but for some reason painting and watercoloring, it's something I've always wanted to do more regularly, but my perfectionist tendencies really jump out when I'm trying to create something, and it kind of ruins the fun. So this week when I went to the watercolor and wine thing, the first thing that I painted was awful. But I really feel like I leaned into that. I'm like, okay, this is what it is, and I just did whatever and accepted that it was fine and that it was supposed to be for fun. Letting go of that and letting go of the perfectionism and the expectations really helped me with the rest of the night, because then I went in and I was just like kind of freestyling, and I made something that I really loved and I had fun doing it. So then after that, I've been on a watercolor kick, and I have watercolor workbooks, I have watercolor paper. So I sat down the other day and I turned on Gilmore Girls. I never finished Gilmore Girls. I started it. I think I got about halfway. I put it on season 4 because I feel like that's where I left off. But I put on a cozy show and I sat down and I watercolored for a couple hours just by myself, and it was so much fun. And now I have the itch, like I want to keep going, because I've, number one, learned new techniques, and number two, I feel like I'm actively trying to let go of the perfectionism and just enjoy what I'm doing and make something that didn't exist before. And just that in and of itself is so cool. I mean, there's tons of different hobbies. There are classes here locally in Charleston for quilting. I want to make time to go to the quilting class and learn how to quilt, because I think that it would be so cool to be able to make my own quilted things. So that's another thing, like maybe look up in your area if there's any classes. I know pottery is a very popular one that like will have classes, like even paint nights, sewing classes, quilting classes, crocheting, knitting, whatever it is. Look in your area and see if there's any classes or courses, and that could be another way to really help with also getting out of the house and having something exciting to look forward to and connecting with other people. The next thing is to move your body. This can tie in with the hobbies thing too. I struggle with this as well. I struggle with pretty much everything on this list, which is why I wrote them down, because there's things I want to work on. I get bored really easily with different workouts. Like if I'm doing the same thing for a while, I don't know, I just don't think I found the secret sauce for myself of what I really enjoy doing and the frequency at which I enjoy doing it. I mean, you can always change your mind, you can always switch up and do new things. There's so many possibilities, but I just don't think I've found what I absolutely love and look forward to yet. But I will say, last weekend I went to the park. I showed this in my last vlog. I went to the park and I just went with the intention of going for a walk. When I got there, I was walking, and then I just thought to myself, like, what if I started running? Like, what would happen? Maybe that would be fun. So I started running. Running is one of those things that, like, while it's happening, I'm very out of shape. I haven't ran in forever. I'm like, holy shit, ow. But it feels kind of good to just do it, and then especially afterwards, my mind just feels so much clearer. And I know everybody says that about running, and it's why I would love to get better at it. I would love to build my endurance and be able to run a mile without taking breaks, not feel miserable at the end of it. I have a good running playlist and like songs that I like to keep pace to, which makes it a lot more fun. And also running outside, I feel like is so much more fun than running on the treadmill in the gym. But when it gets colder outside, obviously running outside is probably not going to be nearly as enjoyable. I'm probably gonna need to move inside. And there's also the risks of running outside and just the safety aspect of it, which you need to be very, very vigilant, which just stresses me out, and it's always made me not want to do it. At first when I went in, I was nervous. I didn't know what the vibes were gonna be. I didn't know the parking situation. But then once I got started, I just kind of leaned in and I had fun. And then the next morning I woke up and my legs hurt, which honestly, I love that feeling. I'm like, yes, I did something. So this week I went again. I went to the park and I ran/walked like 3 miles. I like to couple exercise with a coffee because it just kind of gets me through it and it makes it a lot more fun. So after I did my bulk of my running, I walked over to a coffee shop, grabbed a matcha, just kind of cooled down, walked the rest of the way back to the car, and it was lovely. It's scary out here. Getting to be outside, breathe fresh air, be in nature, be around other people, doing something that makes me feel good and that makes me feel like I'm doing a solid for my body and my physical health and my mental health. I really enjoyed it, so maybe I'll keep going. Going off of that the next thing I have is take care of your mental health. Mental health is one of the most important things to me. I just started going to therapy a few months ago. It was my #1 goal for 2025 and I finally started. Another thing that I have been needing to do and have been putting off is going to the psychiatrist, making an appointment, going and trying to do medication management better. I've been on the same medication for my anxiety for the last, oh my gosh, over 5 years. I don't even know how long. And I just don't really feel like it's working for me anymore. I feel like there could be something better that could help me more. I've really been struggling these last couple years, especially the last year with depression. And I didn't even really realize it and the severity of it until I started going to therapy and I was talking about it and I was like, oh shit. I'm pretty high functioning, I feel like. I will get my stuff done, but it is just very difficult for me to do it. And I feel like I'm dragging myself through the mud and like hitting brick walls multiple times a day. I thought that that was just me. Like I thought it was just like a me problem and I was just like lazy and undisciplined, but no, I'm actually depressed. We're working on it though, because I finally made a psychiatrist appointment. I went onto my insurance's website and I found places in my area that take my insurance and I looked up the reviews and I called one and I set an appointment. I just got to my psychiatry appointment. My first psychiatry appointment, mind you, in several years at a new place. I'm feeling very anxious to go in, very nervous. I hope they're nice. Going to a new place for the first time is just always anxiety inducing to me, but I need to be here because I don't think I'm on the right medication. If you're new here, this is the first video you're watching of me. Hi, I'm Hannah. I have been medicated for anxiety since, I don't know, high school. It's been over a decade and I need help because I don't think, I know that what I'm on isn't right for me anymore. So that's why I'm here. I mean, I read the reviews. I picked this place because it had good reviews and they take my insurance. I'm just nervous. At first I was like, is this a weird thing to vlog? And then I'm like, it shouldn't be. Mental health care is important. Taking care of my mental health needs to be my top priority. And I'm finally in therapy. So with the combination of therapy and hopefully a medication change, I'm praying that I will be feeling better. So I'm about to go in. People can do hard things. Okay, I'm back. I just talked for an hour and 10 minutes. This was like a intro appointment. So I just like told him about what's been going on and how I've been feeling. And we have a plan for the next like month. We're gonna try some stuff and then I have a follow-up appointment. Obviously we're gonna need to manage this for a while. So that's like the whole point, is the medication management and just like hopefully finding something that I can be consistently more stable on. I'm interested to see how this stuff is gonna work. And I'm also interested to talk to my therapist about this tomorrow and see what she thinks. I did it. Like I did it. It was fine. I feel like I just yapped, but that was the point. Like that's why I'm there. Trying new things, like especially when it comes to like psych meds, just it's very daunting. I don't even have any thoughts. I don't have words. I just spoke a lot, so I'm done speaking for now. So that's a journey that I'm starting. Finally, it's gonna be a long one. It's a lot of like kind of trying things and then giving them time to see how they work. I got the ball rolling. I took the first step, and that's sometimes the hardest thing to do. And I'm really proud of myself that I did. And then these last two things have to do with your space. My room is my sanctuary. My space is my sanctuary. I have cleaned my apartment within an inch of its life. A couple weeks ago, I hosted for the first time for the summer. I turned pretty. I whipped this place into fucking shape. I am so proud of the place that my apartment is in right now, especially when it's gonna get colder outside and darker earlier. I think it's important to really lean into that. Lean into the fact that it's getting darker and that you can light up your space in a way that makes you feel cozy and warm. Adding lamps, adding candles, adding a cozy blanket, adding some cozy pillows. You can thrift lamps. I've done that. I thrifted the lamp I'm looking at right here in my reading nook. I thrifted the other 2 lamps in my room. Just getting like a warm toned light bulb makes a world of difference. Getting a nice cozy blanket. Just lean in fully to the cozy vibes, specifically in the burr months in the fall and winter. Having a space that I love and that makes me feel cozy and safe gets me through those months so much better. And then finally, keep your space tidy. Another thing that's a new development for me, but as I said, I cleaned my apartment to within an inch of its life a few weeks ago. It took a lot of work to get there. It took me like honestly 3 days of cleaning and organizing to get it to where it is. And ever since then, I have done, I'm gonna pat myself on the back. I've done a fantastic job at keeping it tidy. And it's a lot easier to spend anywhere from like 5 to maybe 30 minutes, depending on what it is that you need to do. Like if it's a laundry night and I've done 4 loads of laundry and I have to fold them all and put them all away, like that'll probably take a little bit longer, but it's so worth it to get everything done, do a sweep at night, do your chores, clean up all the dishes and put away what you took out. If you have laundry, put it away. That's one of the main things that I feel like I would leave for, this is embarrassing to admit. Man, when you live alone, it's so easy to just leave shit in piles. So I would leave my laundry on my couch or in a pile in my room, like over here by my closet. It could get to be as long as like 2 weeks because it wasn't pressing. Like I could live around it. I'm not proud to admit that, but I just did. I'm exposing myself and that's fine. But now, like the other day, I had a big laundry day and I had a big pile of clothes that I needed to put away in my dressers. I had a big pile to put away in my closet. I just did it. I was on FaceTime with my mom, which helped. Like I like to listen to an audiobook or a podcast or FaceTime my mom, and it helps me do my chores a lot faster because I'm not thinking about the chore itself. I'm just kind of like enjoying whatever is going on. Sometimes you just have to do that. Sometimes you have to give yourself some entertainment and make the task mindless so that you don't overthink it, because that's always been my problem, is like I think about it so much that it builds it up and makes it a lot harder to even get started because I've built it up in my head to be like this giant mountain that I need to climb, but in reality I simply need to put my clothes away in the closet. It makes such a difference for me to take that extra time every day to tidy up my space, to keep the space clean so that I don't have to take 3 days again and do the whole thing over again. That is the last thing that I had to say. I always end up talking way longer than I intend to when I sit down in front of a camera, but hey, a bitch has some things to say. Like I've got thoughts and I want to share them, and I did. So those are some things, some habits, healthy habits that I have implemented in my life that I really have noticed a difference with, and that have made me feel more positive, more productive, and more put together and happier. And that's the most important thing, is happier. So I wanted to share them with you in case you could use any of them as well in your own lives. All right, thank you so much for watching or listening to this video. I love you so much, and I hope you have an amazing rest of your week. I hope you're having a great pre-fall. I know it's still summer technically, but to me it's fall because it's September, and that's just all, that's the only justification I need. Hopefully I will see y'all in my next video. Bye.